Are you tired of learning things and wondering when and how you're going to use this? Or how does it connect to the things you're actually trying to learn? Well, I just had a call with one of our new members, and what I realized in talking about it was how unusual our approach is. Take some little explanation, but the kind of projects that we build in Home Team, right? We're not primarily optimizing for necessarily player reach or for polish something. We're literally asking, zooming out, why are you building a project? What is it you're trying to learn? Are you trying to get experience with a certain approach to code, a certain engine, a certain genre of game because it's going to help in your portfolio, because you're looking for a big company job, small company job, you want to be a solopreneur because you just want to make games as a hobby on the side, which we respect and members do that too. There's no wrong answers to these things, but the answer that you have will help shape why you would pick one kind of project than another. Because over time, right, we're drawing a series of dots behind us of projects that we've done, and looking back, it's going to accumulate over time, whether or not you look like the kind of person who's into making puzzle games or first person or adventure, or whether you're in Unity or Godot or JavaScript, whether you're mostly in art, whether you're mostly in code, whatever the thing is you want to do, the way Home Team works is that members figure out what is it they want to learn. And then we work backwards from that to design what projects are going to be a good way for you to practice the skill you want to have. This is also so different from a job or even a school context where we're not asking, are you the best at it? Because then that's how you qualify to do it. We're literally saying, what do you want to get better at? You could be the worst Blender modeler in the world, but if you want to get practice at it, then we figure out what kind of Blender modeling do you want to do? Or, hard surface, do you want to be doing organic and animated? What is it you're after? Humanoid, alien, up to you. And then from that, we figure out what fits your scale and pace. Now, speaking of scale and pace is also where all of our people have full-time jobs or families or full-time classes, stuff going on. This is not some sort of boot camp thing where people put their entire life on hold, even like a game jam for 48 hours. Instead, our approach in Home Team is you've maybe only got one sitting or two a week of a few hours here and there. Most members, that's the case. And so we're trying to figure out, we build a plan together of how to use that same amount of time you already have more constructively so it adds up over time. To make it easier, to lower the barrier for if you or teammates want to collaborate, there's already some planning going into here's tasks that would be useful, so you can kind of self-serve a lot of those. It's something where our framework sets it up so that when you do have a little bit of time, it's clear on how to spend that time so you're not stuck rethinking, gosh, what to do next, and kind of exploring a handful of different things all in parallel. You can be strategic about how you're going to use that time and energy so it adds up, tells the story you want to learn, learns the skills you want to cover. All these sort of things that you're after is what we figure out in Home Team in a way that's so unusual. I know it takes some little explanation for people, but it really is based on what do you want to learn? The kind of games getting built. Those are member-led, right? I emphasize there's cases where in universities and so on, and I kind of get and see how this came out of it, but it almost seems like you're designing the professor's game or you're doing something that the faculty wants done. They're interested in the subject, so you've got to go be kind of a foot soldier on it. That's not at all how we work. For the most part, I mean, I lead a project too, but mine are very intro level. It's just hey, who wants to get their foot into a project to kind of get weighed into it? I can help them out with their questions. Nearly all of our projects are member-led. It's just another peer member among everybody else who, even if they're very, very new to something, we design a project around, okay, so you're new to it. So then let's build this process so that throughout it, you'll have a direct reason to apply the tutorials you're finding out there. You'll have a direct reason to apply answers to questions you get from me or our trainers about how to do these things. So by the time you're done with a project, and this is where all of our projects release on time, we're proud of that fact. All 170 plus we've released so far, release on time. Between now and then, you will have had a reason to apply the stuff you're learning. A demonstrated artifact showing that you can do the thing. One of the things we've actually started to realize too is how much what we're really delivering for people is that when you're a Home Team member for a while, you're going to always have an answer to what are you working on right now? You're going to have some answers to what have you released this year, last year, recently? What have you been doing? You have answers to those questions. And that's where when I go to those online meetups and things and I find there's often a bunch of people who can't answer that question. They're like, oh, I've been tinkering on something for years. When's the game coming out? I don't know. Right? They don't have anything to show. What was the last thing you released? I haven't released anything yet. In Home Team, it's how we released 34, 35, literally dozens of games released last year. We knew when you ask any of those people, what are you working on? They got a clear answer. You say, what have you done recently? They can point to a game they last released. When you say, when's your game you're working on now going to release? They can tell you the date. That's stuff I train people in Home Team. We're doing that for now. Most of my adult career, training people in that process. Literally just yesterday, I was meeting with the exec board for Game Creation Society. It's an undergrad game development club I helped establish back in 2004. And just realizing afterwards the quick math there, of course, that there are freshmen now in that group who were born after we started that group. That's how long I've been doing this kind of pattern and approach. Obviously, Home Team's a whole different tier approach, structure, framework, adds training services, a bunch of other materials and process and framework, and we make it even easier, even better. We adapt it along people's full-time jobs and things. Really, when that framework possible in the first place was that where it first was incubated was in these college clubs, that one and the one I started at Georgia Tech as well. where it was people who had full-time classes as comp sci students. They were busy. They had social lives as college students. They were busy. So are adults. And so that's why the home team model has been able to translate so naturally to people who only have a sitting or two a week, and we help them get more out of it in terms of the progress of learning what they want to learn, showing the portfolio they want to learn, designing backwards around why are you doing this? What do you want to get out of it? Okay, great. Let's draw you a path together. I'll help you if you ever get stuck so you're never having that frustration. I'll help you if you get stuck so you never have a dead end. You don't have those morale hits of I started a thing, it didn't finish. I contributed to a project, it didn't get released. We don't have that problem in Home Team. I'd like to help you not have the problem, but you can't get help you don't ask for. So check us out at hometeamgamedev.com. As I mentioned on there, if dues are an issue for you, we literally have a sponsored application process. It is a longer wait because obviously those spots are in high demand. There's more applications ahead of you. We do not have a limited time frame of we don't kick people out to they've had X number of weeks or months in the program on sponsorship. Instead, it's when those people are ready to move on because they feel like they've not been getting use of it or if they've been sort of absent from stuff. It's just like if you get a scholarship for a college and you never go to class, well, you got to cycle that out. Someone else is going to have that opportunity. But anyway, that's on the forum. For all the details of that and everything else about Home Team, go to hometeamgamedev.com. Check us out. Look forward to building games with you and helping you learn the things you want to learn by building it into projects so you've got something to show for it. That's it for the day. Thanks again. Catch you next time. Bye for now.